We're working with double angle identities, and we're going to have our first example here where I'm going to solve this particular equation. The equation is 2 cosine of x plus the sine of 2x equals 0. Okay, so I need to be able to use my double angle formulas here to manipulate this equation until I'm able to come up with some kind of a solution. Solutions we're going to be looking for here are going to be between 0 and 2 pi. So let's take a look at what we have here. Sine of 2x, make sure you have your trig identity sheets out so that you can look up what the identity is for that. And hopefully you've been able to see that the identity for sine of 2x is equal to twice the sine of our angle x times the cosine of our angle x. And that is equal to 0. Okay. Now, as I take a look at this, I might want to consider, does anything else show up here that might need an identity? And so far, I don't see anything that actually looks like, okay, this is, I need some more substitution going on here. But I do notice that I've got 2 and cosine x as a part of both halves of this expression here. So I can do some factoring. Let's factor out the 2 and factor out the cosine of x. And I can multiply that times, let's see, factor that out, I'm left with 1 plus the sine of x. And this whole expression then is equal to 0. Okay, so now I need to consider the possibilities here. When in the world is cosine of x equal to 0? Or more specifically, just the cosine of x. And then when is the other portion of it then is when is 1 plus sine x equal to 0. So if I solve both of these equations, then I know when my original expression here, the right here, when that is going to equal 0. Because the product of two numbers, if either one of those is equal to 0, the whole thing is equal to 0. So when is the cosine of x equal to 0? To think about that for a few seconds here. Might help if you had your unit circle out. Well, the cosine of x is going to be equal to 0 if x is equal to pi over 2 or 3/2 pi. Okay. Now this 1 plus sine of x, we can also think of this as when does the sine of x equal -1? And the sine of x is equal to -1 when x is equal to what? 3/2 pi. Alright, so the specific answers for this particular equation, if we restrict ourselves to answers being between 0 and 2 pi, we have our angle can either be equal to pi over 2 or it can be equal to 3/2 pi. Both those answers are sufficient. In the meantime, you have yourself a great day and look for example number 2 regarding solving identities.